Welcome along to part 2 of the detailing studio overhaul. If you haven't seen the first part, then make sure you go back and you'll see the transformation that I've made so far, and you can find out the tips and tricks and learn from the big mistakes that I've made, so you can turn your place into looking like something decent and an area which you enjoy working on cars. Hi, I'm Matt Jones and welcome to the Detailing Studio Overhaul, and I'm going to tell you all about what I've done to this studio so far. As you can see, the walls are all filled in, and that was a massive headache. I chose to do the walls and fill them myself and get the ceiling done professionally, which you can see above is just about ready for the stud ceiling to go on. Now, I filled the walls with car filler. The problem I had with that is that I had to mix an awful lot, and I used two big pots of filler to fill those gaps. And one of the reasons why is because the gaps were so big that the air was getting in between them. So if I wanted to make this warm and an environment which is suitable for putting coatings on, then I would need to make it insulated. So either way, I had to fill those holes up. And the issues that I got was that the filler was very difficult to get to a position where it would dry out properly. It was a conundrum of, if I put too much hardener in, it hardened too quickly. If I didn't put enough in, then it didn't harden at all. And being so cold, it was really difficult to try and get somewhere in between so I could have a manageable and sandable area. Now, it doesn't look perfect, and if you were to paint these walls in white, then it would look an awful lot better, and it wouldn't show the filler marks in, as you can see. But I don't want white, because that will show or be difficult to get glare, and you will not see as much as the defects in the paint as you will get from the lighting where you've got dark walls. I mixed this colour myself, which was another mistake. I took floor paint, just some cheap floor paint, and I wanted this colour. I didn't want grey, so I put some black paint into it, which is absolutely fine. But one of my problems which occurred was I was, how do I put it, impatient. Now, I was impatient because once I had the filler on then sanded down, I knew that filler was porous and I should have primed it. And I didn't. So when I put the paint on and it dried, the filler dried out with real high gloss and a completely different colour to the rest of the walls. So I had to go back over that with a primer and wait till that dried and go over it again. And unfortunately, I had very little paint left. So I've got patchy-ish walls. But for the meantime, I'm going to live with that because there's plenty of things that I need to get on with. And if I come to it in the future, then I can paint them again. They are going to do the job for now. The ceiling I used bubble wrap insulation, which you can get off eBay in several places. It's not expensive. It's not going to do the complete job of keeping it nice and warm inside here, but it's going to help. And once that stud ceiling goes on, it's going to help even more. The issues that I got, it actually went on quite easily, and it actually fitted quite nicely in between the beams. But when you are using the stapler to staple them into the areas you want to, the stapler often gets stuck because of the angle you're holding it. And I went through two staplers thinking the first one was rubbish, but I got exactly the same problems on that. And that really doubled my labour time of putting all the insulation up. And it did take a considerable amount of time to do. And in reality, it doesn't fit how you want to. You want it up against there completely flat so it holds it all in. But this is a corrugated tin roof, so I cannot get it to be like that. But once the ceiling goes in, then I should get decent effects. And not only will it keep the heat in, it's also designed to deflect heat in the summertime as well to keep it cool. Now my floor is probably the one thing I'm most excited about other than the ramp going in, and this floor is all over the shop. It's had a 2-post ramp put in just here, and extra concrete was put in to house that ramp, and it's all over the shop. So this is going to get all sanded back. It's going to get sanded back and it's going to be polished, meaning that this floor is going to be polished to a mirror finish. It will be permanent. It's guaranteed for 10 years, but in reality, it's going to last longer than that. And I might even emboss a logo into the floor. Should be looking uber cool. The lights, as you can see, have gone in. I've done the lights myself. They're only temporary because the stud wall's going to go in, and you can see some of the lights down there which are going on the wall. So I'm Matt Jones from Bedford Valeting and Detailing.com. Keep tuned for the final version to see me finish this all off, hopefully within the budget of £2,500, including the ramp, and we're going to have an awesome, cool, workable area for cars to come in at the start of March, which means a turnaround of just a few weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and tick that bell button to have notifications of the next time we have a video, and it could well be a nice car on a ramp inside this unit that we're going to transform into beautifulness of glossy, glowing automobile loveliness.